Yeah, there's this subject that we need to talk about, and I think it concerns us most, and especially those of us that are really studying at the PhD level and the master's level here in China, in all education levels in China, higher education levels in China.
Sure.
And that is the fact that we all know how the system has been.
That's right.
And a lot of people are unoriented on how it's like to study.
Majority
And maybe for the sake of time and urgency, we are not going to delve deep into it. But we have a podcast to discuss about what it's like to study in China, and especially to be a researcher or as a master student, as a PhD student. We want to digest it down to the core.
I think people underrate it.
Exactly.
The pressure is massive. The demand is so high, and but I think when you come to this topic, there was that new regulation, right?
Yes, and so it goes like China is going to move away from the Science Citation Index, the academic evaluation. So what it means is that China's Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Science and Technology issued an official notice last week on regulating the use of Science Citation Index (SCI) papers. In the evaluation system of universities and academic institutions across the country, calling for a break from the long-standing SCI supremacy in assessing researchers and institutions. Let's break this whole topic down. Simple. We all know that for a student to be, let's talk it from the point of graduation.
Yeah. For
you to be granted a chance to graduate, you need to publish SCI papers. For masters, basically a single SCI paper, right?
That's right.
And then for PhD, I think it varies, but ultimately it's three. And publication in itself is not easy.
No.
Publication, it could vary from field to field, from subject area to subject area, from research focus to research focus, but in itself it's not easy.
It's not.
You can imagine how many bounces you get, rejections a person gets.
No, before you get the bounces, the work you put in, okay, and the failures that you go through, and then the final rejections,
the submissions.
But when you look at it, two things I derive from this. Moving away from it, probably the Ministry of Education.
The other mode or mechanism for evaluation is not out yet. They are still working it out. But what it means is that the strongest and the greatest focus will not be on a student or a researcher publishing a paper before graduation. But then there should be other forms of evaluation, and maybe your contribution in the lab that.
So that means the individual schools, institutions have to develop a way of evaluating their students.
Maybe there will be a generalized form. There will be a generalized mechanism or way of evaluation, and then the schools will have to interpret it in their own way and custom make it, according to what.
Yeah, I saw one of the articles in the policy. It said that. Higher education institutions are suggested not to set requirements on the number of publication papers.
So the institutions themselves don't have prerogative to set their own requirements.
Yeah, and then okay. And now, but it also creates another challenge, doesn't it? It creates the challenge on the institutions to develop and design an appropriate way to evaluate their
students. Maybe lab attendance is okay. You attend lab every single day, and I don't know. But that
first of all, that's nothing.
Is that a good enough evaluation?
No.
So what is it going to be like? One. For me, okay. It was creating a lot of challenge, and we think about how many people have been so much depressed, have really their life form was ultimately out of them. I mean, the very life that was within them was almost out of them.
Yeah.
The stress they go through to be able to publish a paper.
I have first-hand experience, my friend.
Exactly. A lot of people have that. And for me, I started early, so it was good for me. And I had to make a lot of sacrifice to get that done.
But overall, look at it. I think this policy is not so. To me, if I look at it, is. I don't know the method that they are going to design for evaluation, but I would think internationally still SCI, which is accepted.
I want to ask you a question. Okay?
Yeah.
Do you think it's actually a message or like it's a declaration that people should be happy about?
No.
Or not?
No.
Is that an exciting news? Or
No,
not?
it's not. It's not. Look,
Let's take it from different points.
Let's look at it this way. Let's look at it just on the evaluation side of it. What other standard would you put there to evaluate a student's performance?
It would be very difficult to get.
And I want you to put it in perspective of China and our professors.
Exactly.
Honestly, they even do not have much time to give us right now. Now, if there is no need for them to push
for
publication,
yeah,
and what other standard? They already find it difficult how to evaluate us, actually. So they push you only have to do the work until you get a publication.
My question is, what do we even have to show for our work here, our time that we spend here, if we are not publishing anything?
So it's not exciting news.
The issue is the strong focus that was always on SCI.
Yes, it's a driving factor.
I think even if they should, I don't know, but very few supervisors and professors really are open to the idea of publishing at the academic level.
No, they actually do not fancy it.
They don't fancy it.
They do not fancy
it. Because most of the academic journals are really, I don't want to curse you. They're nothing.
Look at it this way.
They're not good enough.
Alfred, for professors to get projects that they run, to win government grants, industrial grants, to run the researches in these labs, what do they use for evaluating them? It's still the work. Yes, it's their previous work in publications, right? Now that's one thing. So that pushes the pressure back to us, the students, because you are the one who does the work, and the credit goes to the professor.
This subject has not been opened up in the way that I want to open up, but for time's sake, we just touched on it. We'll sit down and really talk about that.
Absolutely, because but it's not. You shouldn't be excited about it. I actually feel bad for us foreign students.
I'm not even excited. I think of it in both ways. For us here.
Yeah.
What have we got to show when we go back home?
It's what I'm saying. It's what I'm saying. It's actually very bad for us. Why? One here that apparently you
using it. Okay, you can have it for some time.
So like I was telling you, Alfred, like apparently it's the drive that we have. One, it also gives you a good background. Like when you go back home, you have something to show for what you're seeing, and it's amazing. It actually spirals by the time you leave there. Amazing how the world out, but now the world is getting to know actually that research, particular scientific research in China, is incredible.
There's high quality. There are high quality.
Yes, high quality. And the only challenge with the current system I have is the pressure.
That's what I wanted to come about. Like, so you see, you weigh the advantages, the pros and the cons, right? And honestly, if we should all face it for us as students. I mean, on both sides.
There's a pressure
for the institutional setting for the institution.
Yeah.
It is a great advantage for the institution. For let's talk about what lab wise.
Yeah.
For the lab, it's a great advantage for the lab. And then when it comes to us as individuals, it's a great advantage for us as well. But when we come into play again, that is when the pros and cons really begin to shave against each other.
It does.
One thing is that it has some sort of negative impact on students. The high pressure and the demand.
The pressure is high and the demand.
I've talked about hard work.
People have got people. If like I remember one time I told you the pressure is so high that if you do not have the mental age, you break down, and you break down not to come back, break down completely.
Yeah.
The
pressure.
I know a PhD student right now who feels probably like the end of it. I think for her, she's been in the lab for this is her 4th year.
We cannot begin to talk about
she's done everything everything. Everything. And you know how they work morning to night. But no results. Bro, it's breaking. That part is breaking. But then again, let me tell you from my own experience. I was in the lab for 1 year, probably and a half. Every day I'm working like crazy. But no results. It's just the good thing with me is I do not let the pressure come and sit on me. No, I'm just
find a way to unwind.
Exactly.
That is one thing that people don't know.
I find so many ways to unwind and let loose. And the pressure doesn't bow down on me and break me down. But then it's amazing. If you look at the end result, you might be broken down. But if you look at the process and at what you've learned in that time,
it's invaluable.
Incredible. How much you've learned.
I say that if when I went back home, I saw it. If I go back to my country, the way that I am now, it's priceless.
Exactly, it's priceless.
Nobody will match me in any endeavor that I want to start, because if you get trained in this system,
it's exactly what I was.
It is crazily impactful.
Yes,
it influences every facet of your being. Every facet of your being.
Look. The schedule we have here is so tacit that when you get accustomed to it, it's part of you now. And it's so incredible how much you can do and what mindset you have on
I made a video on 8 things that nobody tells you before you come to China.
Oh, really?
You know, the first time I talked about hard work.
Man,
hard
work. And that's the other.
I appreciate that. They've used that to build this country. And when you come here, it's not a loose system where you come in, you coast through, and then you just find a way. And that is also.
I always give my friends some example. Like, I wouldn't really. I don't know. You know, China is so decentralized. Actually, it's individual universities have individual requirements.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah.
And it all started last year. You know, like last year, I think Peking and Tsinghua university they stopped the SCI publication thing, and maybe that's the model that the whole country is going to roll out. I don't know what they use for evaluating their students now.
I think they used Peking and then Tsinghua. Piloted it in a way just to see how it worked, and probably they've been advising.
Maybe that is it. I think so too. So that means there is some measure that they are using right now.
Yeah.
But then according to the rules that I saw here, that for science research it should be practical. Of what practical benefit is your research giving out there? So that's another thing. So that means the pressure is still there. You need to develop innovative enough.
At what point can we measure and conclusively say that you have done so much work that you can graduate?
In China, first of all, there is almost no measure.
Except even to publish a paper.
Exactly.
Except you get the results. You conduct an experiment, you get the results.
You get results and do a publication.
Yes.
Thank you. And most times, even after you've done that, your professor is still having more work for you to follow up on that, because it just never stops. So,
Is it easy to be a PhD student?
Oh gosh, no.
I mean, generally across the world, I know it's difficult.
Yeah, but in China, it's 5-10 times difficult.
Anywhere across the world, I think.
Jeez!
It's 5 times, 10 times.
Man! Yeah. But by the time you leave, you're a man.
That's what I'm saying. It impacts you so much that when you leave this system, you're going there to change a lot of things wherever you came from.
If you get opportunity and you're given that platform.
But it's a prepared mindset. It's all about how a mind is oriented to take this thing head on. Because it's not everybody that can take it. People complain a lot. I see people around complain. It's incredible. And it's because of the personality that
what I've seen here, man, what I've gone through here it changes your perspective on so many levels, and it changes your personality, and just your attitude alone changes from the experience. And jeez. So man,
so it's like
I'm looking forward to so many incredible things. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So maybe we are not going to delve in as much as I want us to do that, because we'll reserve it for another time and prepare adequately for that.
Oh my goodness!
But this has been a very good conversation so far, in terms of talking about what it's like to, talking about the evaluation system for graduation and all sort of things. And I mean, it even rolls over from the higher institution levels to the occupational level. I mean, for professions and workplaces, most qualifications are pinned on the fact that how many you have some publications.
I know that for China, actually, if a PhD or postdoc student wants to join the academic staff or something, you must have a very high impact factor total of journals and publications. And it's incredible that it's so high. First of all, there is a value system on different institutions.
This is tied into what we are discussing here.
They
scrutinize to the point that they know they are not getting some cheap wannabe person who is pretender.
So it rolls back to foreign talent that they want.
Yes.
The system won't be loose on you.
They don't get a fluke. They don't get somebody that is a pretender.
No. You have to have solid and tested
track record of research.
Exactly. So it's not going to be a small feat that you will just pass through. No. For recruitment, it's amazing. It's not only academic.